Welcome to the Game Corner, another video game podcast. My name is Harrison. You might know me on the internet as Ixen, and I am, as always, joined by
Rowan. It's been 9 gens, and I'm still putting Dragonite on my teams.
And this is Sheldon. You probably know me as Captain Unova.
What? Yeah, you, Rowan. No. You can't backhandedly slander our boy Dragonite.
I'm not backhanded. I normally only do new mons, but then I saw that I could have Dragonite in my team. I was like, no, then one of my new mons gets to go to the box for the rest.
Oh, I didn't even realize until this moment you're also wearing a Dragonite t-shirt, and we've been talking about Dragonite for the past 10 minutes before we're recording. So fair enough. Anyway, so for those of you who are tuning in and haven't realized yet, we are in Scarlet and Violet territory. We have said goodbye to Sword and Shield for the time being. I actually still have a Marshadow code I have to redeem, but that's a whole different story. I have until the end of December to do that. But we are in Gen 9. We have Scarlet and Violet. We've been to Paldea. Some of us have beaten the game. I am not one of them.
Not there yet either. I'm close.
Literally today. So I had to listen to Ed Sheeran's voice this afternoon.
It's bittersweet. It's decisive. I'm going to say we're going to get this out of the way early. Mention in the comments. I almost said comics. Mention in the comments if you're Ed Sheeran pro or con. Anywho, what do y'all think? First impressions, go.
So
best game ever. Yeah. Best Pokemon game ever.
Good asterisk.
Yeah, I have to agree. I've played better games in general, but as Pokemon goes, this is the best time I've ever had with a single player game. I think the elephant in the room is the performance stuff, and we can talk about that in a sec.
Sure.
But I think even despite those problems, which are significant and real, and it shouldn't have released like this, it's still the best Pokemon game I've ever played, like by a wide margin.
Yep, easily. I wholeheartedly agree. Like, these games are fantastic. The open world, I think they did a good job. We were talking about it in Discord over the past several days. About like the gameplay loop is fun. The just being able to run around, see Pokemon in the overworld, is way better than the wild area or even DLC zones and Sword and Shield, I think. Yep. But man, it's fun.
It's a lot of fun. I get distracted so easy in it.
That was
like I did in like Sword and Shield anyway. Like I get to the wild area and you just see the pillars of light and you're like, oh, what's that over there? Let me go look at it. And I would just spend like hours just going around that lake like at first, like not progressing the story. And now I do it, but I have an entire map of just
Swish,
little lights.
I had that experience in Swish for like 1 hour, and then I was like, well, I've seen this lake. It exists. There's stuff on the sides of it. And then that was it. But this is a whole game of that, and it's wild. And you're right. It took me a long time to find a rhythm of like, now I'm going to complete this.
Yeah, I have to like force myself. Like, okay, no, don't get distracted by you see the little gold lights of the special Terramons, or you see a Patera raid, and you're like, nope.
I've been in my playthrough, which is currently up on YouTube for everything I streamed over the weekend. I haven't tweeted that yet. By the time this episode comes out, I might have tweeted it. We'll see. Actually, no, like 2/3 it's on YouTube because my disc ran out of space when I was rendering that overnight a couple weeks ago, or a couple days ago, not weeks ago. Goodness. Anywho, that's beyond the point. I was like very focused. I'm not gonna get too distracted. I ended up being like almost under leveled for things, and then I went. So for those of you who are still playing the game, haven't beaten it yet, or whatever, this episode we are going to talk about stuff, but we're going to try and keep it pretty spoiler free on top for like story, as far as story stuff is concerned. But I think we're going to try and dance around topics, but I think for the most part, if it's not stuff you've already heard, then you're really good at living under a rock. But
I would.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
Say like we really like talk about like overarching, just like general, like I think the story was good or bad or whatever, but no specifics. There might be spoilers about like the names of Pokemon. If you don't want to hear any new Pokemon names and you haven't played the game yet, then maybe tune out. But otherwise, we're gonna keep it as
I
friendly
think
as
that's
possible.
I think that's fair. But it's out now, so if you haven't been playing,
Play it.
what are you
if
doing?
You haven't, if you haven't been up till 4 a.m. every night since it dropped, I don't know.
What are you really doing with your
life? Yeah.
No, so
Sad.
I
That was my
was.
weekend.
It's what? That was your
my
weekend? Yeah.
I destroyed
Same.
my sleep schedule.
I was.
Same.
I really had to hold myself back.
I was mainlining cold brew for like 3 days.
And now we got a holiday weekend for it too.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I'm about to be on a cruise ship for Thanksgiving for a week.
Oh, nice.
So I've got nothing but internet and no internet and sun to grind this game out.
That is gonna be fantastic. I'm quite envious. I have travel, which is
Very,
nice.
very envious.
So I think I'm gonna end up spending over the course of the next couple of days 5 to 6 hours in the car. So that's just, and I'm not
Ooh.
driving. So hey,
Oh,
There you
that's
go.
not
Pokemon the whole
bad.
time. But anyway, I was trying real hard to not get too distracted. I would not pass up any of the like wandering Terramon, but I actually didn't do any raids until like, I don't know, Sunday or Monday. I actually avoided it
Really?
for days. Yeah. I think Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. I was streaming with a friend of mine. We did some multiplayer. We did some raids. I think that was the first time I did raids. And then I did a raid single player for the first time. But I've now broken that seal, so I will be going to hit every single shining beam of light.
Yeah.
But every Terra Pokemon, which was like 3, I did not see too many wandering
Really,
Terra
yeah.
Pokemon.
I saw
yeah.
a lot of Super Saiyans walking around. So that was-
Yeah.
I don't know what I talked about it on stream too. I have apparently terrible luck with random encounters.
there are definitely some static encounters. You might have just not gone to the areas by
Maybe.
by mistake or chance or whatever.
But I've also never seen a shiny Pokemon.
Oh, well, I mean,
Well-
not many for myself either.
Yeah,
Outside of all the den manipulation last gen.
Well, that's true. Yeah, but like I've played a game from every gen, and I've never seen a shiny Pokemon, which is
Wow.
baffling.
Damn.
And people are like,
Well,
I
I
found
think you're way
10
more-
shinies in this
You're definitely
game.
more likely in this game just because you see them in the overworld. But
Yeah,
there's
so
also
you-
no
you
like
get more rolls.
sound or sparkle like there were in like PLA. So
That's annoying,
something.
especially because like I don't know what any of the new shinies really look like. So
Right.
like if I run into like a mass outbreak, I'm like looking at everything like, what
What's
is that?
Very different.
Brambleweed? What's the tumbleweed Pokemon?
God,
I think Brambleweed.
I caught one and was like, "This is dumb." And then there's one that's a literal dung beetle. There's like a beetle like
Yeah.
Yeah,
pushing
but
what
it's
I assume
psychic
is
type,
poop. Like I
which
don't
is
know.
cool.
Like
It's got psychic poop. I thought I
Bramblegast.
found that one. I thought I found, or the first form of it. I thought I found a shiny one, and then I realized I just didn't know what color it was in general, or like different lighting effects on
So
it during
you
the
can-
night or day.
your dex will tell you how many shinies you've encountered in the game. So if you want to really torture yourself, take a look
Oh,
at that
no.
and see how many
That's
you may
so
have missed
sadistic.
already.
Oh
It
no.
is because it won't tell you when you see them.
The only saving grace is like the Let's Go isn't supposed to knock them out anyway. So that's like the only.
Oh, really?
That's because that's usually what I do.
Do you
It's
guys
just
use
I-
Let's Go? Do you guys use Let's Go? Like
Oh, I use it all the
at
time.
Really? I could
Yeah.
not. I'd never remember to. Like,
When
maybe
I'm
that's
just
why I was
like running
appropriately
around,
leveled.
I'm always like running around. So I just got something, and it's just like you're just running around collecting items and committing like mass genocides of everything in the area. Like
Yeah, I forgot too. I only so I was playing maybe an hour ago. I was cooking dinner. But like I'm on the snowy mountain area right up to the north.
Yeah.
And I started with Fuecoco, so now I have a Skeledirge, and I'm just like, wait a second, fire, ice, this will be great. And I just kept letting him go, and that's like the first time I actually used Let's Go, besides the Team Star stuff.
Yeah. So actually that's a good question, since like just wanted to like quick segue. The Let's Go does let you level like slowly. You don't get much XP for it, but you get some and it adds up. How did y'all feel about the pacing? Because I honestly thought this was the first game where the EXP share pacing I thought was perfect. And like previous gens, like since they introduced the new XP share, I've always been like pining for like the pacing of like Gen 3, where you had to grind a bit, but then your mons were generally on par for it.
Right.
Normally I've just been so over leveled without even trying. This one I have caught every Pokemon that I have not seen before. Anyone that I don't have in my decks, I will catch it. Any Beam of Light, any raid, I will go get it. Any like Terra Super Saiyan Mon, I will go get it. Any trainer I see, I will fight them. But I'm never grinding. and I was always like right on level. The scaling the fact that there is no scaling sucks, so I was using a cheat sheet. I would see like which
I was going to
gym
mention that,
slash-
yes.
which gym slash Titan slash Team Star thing is like next in the list of like what I should be going. But I did accidentally do a gym in the wrong order. The Ice and Ghost gyms are next to each other, but they are vastly different in level. And I accidentally did the stronger one first. And you were supposed to do the weaker one and then a couple of other things and then the stronger one.
Oh, really?
But it was fine. Like it was a little harder. I was a little under level for the first one, a little over for the next one. But like in general, it's just been the best pacing I've experienced in a Pokemon game period, because I haven't had to grind at all. I've only done the things that have been like, I want to do that. And I've swapped Mons out of my team all the time. Like the ones I had for the first several gyms are almost completely different from the ones for the rest of the game, and even different from the ones for my end game. I think only like my starter, my Ceruledge, and my Wug trio were the only ones that stuck with me through the whole game.
Yeah, so my experience is pretty much on par with yours. Like I said, I was avoiding dens, and
You get some candy, and I didn't use most of it, to be fair. So I could have overleveled myself with the raids if I wanted to.
Oh, I didn't think about candy. I haven't used candy. Nope. Sorry, that's a lie. I used candy to level up my what's it called? Rockruff, because I didn't even realize because Rockruff has 3 forms. I was fortunate enough to the first Rockruff I caught was an own tempo one.
Nice.
Not even trying, and like early on, it was like South Area 2. It's like really early on. I caught one, like first time you see one. And then I'm like, wait a second, own tempo? That's the look up at the sky in the game. It's dawn right now. Throw some candies at it and evolve it. So I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, they're good for that. I was briefly using a Farigiraf, and I was just like, I want it to be a Farigiraf now. I don't want the giraffe ring. So like, I have this candy. I'll level up twice, and then I have it.
Oh, sure.
And that way I have it.
Is that just with level, or is there something special for Farigiraf?
You have to level while knowing
Twin Beam,
but you get Twin Beam by leveling, so it's by leveling.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did most of what you're saying, and I did do the first couple of things out of order, and then I was using probably the same cheat sheet you're looking at, because it's in our Discords, somewhere. I think it's in the Game Corner Discord. Anyway, so I was using the same cheat sheet afterwards, and then I've always been on par or just under for most of my team, and then except my Skeledirge is like 3 or 4 levels over everything, so. Constantly over leveled because starters do.
You have to.
Yeah.
I think I was over leveled, I think, for the first like 2 gyms and maybe the first couple of like little story stuff. Like,
especially when you're still like where the gameplay loop is fresh, I can definitely
yeah,
see,
and I
like,
was because I was catching everything, and I was like, I was trying out the Let's Go feature, so I was getting experience from that. But after that, I was like never even. I was within maybe 4 or 5 levels after that. Like I was actually fairly under leveled, which wasn't bad. It actually, some of the gyms were actually kind of tough. Whenever I was like, uh-oh.
I've never had any, like all the gyms felt really easy, but Team Star. So
yes, Team Star
I
is.
never lost, but I came disturbingly close a couple times against a couple of the Team Star ones. I'd never experienced that in a single player Pokemon game. And again, like these aren't hard if you can easily just over level and be fine. But like this is in the trailer actually. I think it's okay to talk about this.
The fire one's in the trailer.
Yeah. Well, I mean they have cars is the point.
Yeah.
There is a car Pokemon that is poison fire. I won't get into the specifics.
Poison
anyway,
steel.
Poison steel. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. It's smog spewing car, Reverum. They have a giant car, like a giant Reverum that it'll mess you up.
It's special.
It's
Yeah.
surprisingly strong.
There's a lot of special things about it. It's similar to like Ultra Necrozma almost. It's like the same kind of battle.
Yeah,
I feel like
and there's 5 of them.
It outsped my like timid Meowscarada. Like what is that timid Jolly? Like what is happening?
Yeah.
So what's funny is I lost 2 or 3 times. I can't hide that fact. It's all on YouTube. To the fire one because I did it out of that cheat sheet order. I did it early. And then I did
Well,
not have
you think that would be the first one you go
Because
to
it's the
because
one
it's
they
in the
showed.
trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
And it's also-
it's
it
not
was
the
the
first
same-
one you're supposed to go to.
Yeah,
There
it's
is
not.
some
Well, I mean,
dialogue.
they show the
too.
gyms out of order too. Like they showed
Yeah.
you the grass gym first, but it's not the first
Yep.
one you're supposed to hit.
Yep.
Yep. And then there's some dialogue too that was a little confusing. If you me and a friend were talking about it, and I either misunderstood, I either forgot and he misunderstood or something. But the dialogue also leads you slightly astray, in the beginning, like right after the treasure hunt starts. But anyway, I lost that thing because I just didn't have a mon that was ready for a fire type battle like that car. But
Did you have to redo the entire
No,
hideout,
so
or
if
they
you
let you just re-challenge?
you just re-challenge
You just
the
re-challenge
leader.
the boss.
Okay,
Yeah, which is
okay.
nice. But what's good is to go actually beat her, I found I was like, oh cool, a dreadnought's in the game. I'll go catch a dreadnought. And then from there, the dreadnought just soloed the whole thing. Like
This is the
freshly
kind of
caught.
game that this game kind of wants you to like almost change your teams for almost
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
It
Like,
makes
it
really
wants you
easy,
to-
too.
But it's kind of cool. It's not like the typical where you just want to use your same team, because if you do that, you might end up with some bad matchups later
well, it's
on.
nice
Like,
because you have
I did have some bad matches.
yeah.
but you have a
Well,
badge
for me,
every
the
type.
dragon gym belt got me good. The dude set up on me. I'm like, I can't hit this thing.
I will say setup is very powerful in this. I ended up finding out that Swords Dance kind of lets you cheese the whole game, which is
Nice.
Yeah.
it was unfortunate, but it's fine.
Well, it teaches you how to set up, but that's nice.
Yeah.
I also like that there was at least so I haven't finished all the gyms. There's at least one gym that is doubles again.
Yes.
Yes.
So just like Raihan, whatever.
Right
dragon-
hand and the psychic ones from
Tate and Lisa.
yeah,
Yep.
Tate and
Liza,
Lisa,
I don't know,
Liza
yeah.
from Gen 3.
Yep. So there's at least some doubles, which is cool.
We
That's all you get,
pretend
though.
that our actual format exists,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice that the mainline story stuff again acknowledges VGC and doubles. But yeah, so that's cool. What else was there? I don't know. What else has been like a really cool moment or something for the game for y'all?
The freedom of movement in the game is actually fantastic. So the
Yep.
Maridon, Coridon, like the mount system, actually amazing. So I guess without giving away too much, you basically end up with a mount that can do everything that all your PLA mounts could do combined.
It's all the HMs.
Yeah, minus the like treasure hunting sniff stuff out thing that like Ursa Luna had.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, it's amazing. You end up with just this incredible freedom of movement to just traverse this massive map that is not bare at all. Like every square inch is covered in like points of interest and different Pokemon and trainers and
I
There's
was
so much.
shocked by that.
cities.
I was really
like,
expecting to
it
go
wasn't-
find things that like parts of the map, corners of the map that were like, oh yeah,
There's things
exists.
everywhere.
No,
Yeah,
there's
it's
stuff.
not-
And even when you think there's not something there, there's like, oh, there's a gimme goal here. You know, there's always something.
Or
Yeah.
a tower or something. Yeah, it's not an open world for the sake of an open world. Like they took the time to
filled
fill
it.
it out with stuff, and you
Yep.
can climb and fly and sprint and swim and all this stuff through it, and it's amazing. Like I absolutely love it.
And it's so much better than the PLA style of that because you just have the one, so you don't have to swap and like, you know, tab over to the next one,
Yeah,
swap to
Yeah.
Like
that
there
one.
was
Like,
there was some
it's-
skill in that initially, but at some point it just became a chore, and like now
Yeah.
you just don't have to deal with it.
yeah. And so it's just much better to just have the same one. It just does them all.
So another thing too on that note, I have not beaten all of the stuff to get those, all the movement abilities. But I actually really like how it does unlock over time, like how the progression works, because like it makes it nice to be like, okay, yes, I appreciate being able to ride Coridon, and then now Coridon can run faster. That's real nice. Oh, now he can jump. Now he can jump higher, right? Like all these different like incremental steps. Like I was afraid like it'd just be annoying, but I think with the gameplay loop and the map and like all the stuff you're doing,
did it
I
in a
think
good
it
way.
works out real nice. Yeah.
Like, and all the special stuff, just like Team Star, the Titan battles, like they're easier than Team Star, but it's cool. I like the
Yeah,
whole.
and it definitely added something. The worm was actually a massive pain there is a steel type that's immune to not just immune but heals.
It's
from
water's
ground
absorb.
attacks.
Yeah.
It's water absorb for ground
ground.
attacks, and
Yeah.
it's a steel type.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah,
I knew that was coming, so I didn't hit it with the ground. So
Oh, okay. I did not. I send out my
I had a
what's it called?
Crocolore.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, yeah, that's great for you because it's special fire. My only
Yeah.
fire type was Ceruledge, who's physical, who doesn't like hitting steel types, even if it's super effective. It's not gonna do that
fair.
much.
Yeah.
And also, like the worm just had ground coverage, and otherwise, I was trying to hit it with my what's the new derpier Quagsire.
Clodsire.
Clodsire.
Yeah, I was trying to hit it with my Clodsire, and then it healed. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I think I one or two shot that thing.
I like Terra grounded it.
Oh no!
You committed to your mistake.
I did. How was I supposed to know?
Yeah, I didn't know.
That's one of the fun parts of the new games too, because that's another thing. There's added so many abilities. There's
really did.
so many new abilities, so many new Pokemon, and just there's a lot of new stuff in the game.
On the note of exploration, though, I think one thing that's been really missing since they made the transition to 3D was dungeons, or even just like explorable areas. And like gens 1 through 5 have all had like really good, like effectively mazes. Like you gotta find your way through this, get a key to get through the door that you found initially, and backtrack and all that. There's not a whole lot of backtrack key finding, but like the whole game felt like that. I always felt like I was exploring and like. Yeah. Not just exploring, but having to find my way to things.
It's easy to get lost.
Yeah,
yeah, especially pre getting the ability to climb things. It was quite difficult, and I had a thought. My brain isn't working fully right now.
But I had the same thing. I thought the same thing. And going back to the progressive movement, unlocking or whatever, it really does give you the chance to explore Paldea. Like it is one large, dungeon or just place to get lost.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm probably not alone in this, but I titled my stream or something, I'm gonna go get lost in Paldea because that's what you can do.
Yeah,
it's so big.
So what I was thinking is that like it's part of the objectives. Like you have to make it through these mazes to get to the next bit of the story. Whereas I think they finally realized what they were missing in this not even Isle of Armor, but Crown Tundra. Like they actually added some caves that weren't literally a corridor from point A to point B, but by that point it was like there was literally one actual maze to get through to get your Calyrex, and then that was it.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like the whole game, and it is actually necessary for a bunch of different points in the story, and it's awesome. I just really hope they keep this kind of like level design and world design for future games like this.
That's a good point, and I want to use that as a segue, but I will say real quick, PSA, when you are going from place to place, mark it on your map. So it gives you that little heads-up display. It points out on the mini-map. It gives you direction. It helps you.
I will say the set destination is great because when you do it on your map, your character turns to the so you don't have to okay, I'm looking this way So because it is easy to get lost on this map.
It was taking. I mean, plenty of games have done waypoints, but it was definitely taking the hint from Breath of the Wild, right? It was like this is the closest to Pokemon Breath of the Wild we've ever had. And
you can even talk to if you talk to Nurse Joy, she'll even kind of give you a hint, like, okay, you should go do this now. Like, if you're, because you have options, and if you're not using any kind of cheat sheet, like you're like, I don't know where to go. Like,
she'll at least give you an idea.
And then you end up getting wiped.
It does not.
Does the nurse send you to the next item on the cheat sheet?
No,
effectively,
it does not.
No.
She'll do it like that because of you saying.
Oh yeah, she sent me somewhere that I was not ready for yet.
Yeah.
Like the desert. She sent me to the desert to fight the Titan, and I was not at the level yet. I was like 15 levels below it.
Oh, I did get stomped by the desert Titan too. I was like, I'll give it a shot while I'm over in this area. No, not ready at all. I also speaking of getting lost, and then we'll go to the thing you mentioned earlier, that I said I was going to segue to. But speaking of getting lost too, I was wandering around somewhere. And I just went down like a fork in the road and chose the wrong direction. And then suddenly I'm facing wild Pokemon that are 20 levels above me. And I was like, oh no. I had like a wild Pokemon at one point, take out half my team.
Yeah. Too bad. You chose Skeledirge. It's slow. Enjoy dying.
Yeah.
That's very true. Actually, my Skeledirge is the only reason I lived, or survived. But I was like, oh man, that was so fun. But you mentioned earlier future games, and hopefully taking lessons learned from Gen 9, or at least these two games, and pulling them forward, right? What are some of the things that you'd want to see improved upon for the next games?
So are we gonna like touch the elephant in the room?
Absolutely.
Sure. Let's just talk about how like this performance is bad, right? Like, so if you've seen the like bugs on Twitter, some of those, like, they're obviously cherry picked. They're obviously the absolute worst you're ever gonna see, and they're mostly derived from the like the multiplayer, which actually works surprisingly well, shockingly well compared to Sword and Shield, I will say. Like,
absolutely,
my wife and I were doing it like the local multiplayer. I've played a little bit online with a buddy too, and like people move in real time and it's awesome and you get to do stuff, but like like you can just play your games independently and just like your buddies there. It's a cool little idea. I love it. I hope they keep doing it, but they definitely need some time to iron this stuff out, because all the funny things of like the Wiglet shooting out of someone's crotch, or like random Pokemon appearing during cutscenes because your buddy's catching those at the moment. Or
there is
like
some
the horrific like eldritch horror, people's like models being
stretched in
out
such wild ways.
yeah, all that kind of stuff is due to the multiplayer. So like,
this is something we see in
too much.
We see this in a lot of other open world games too, though. Like, like kind of give them a little bit of credit.
Skyrim,
like,
right?
like best data. Like,
Granted,
they do
Skyrim's
is make
10
open.
years old.
But all they do is make open world games. Big, massive open. That's all they do. That's all they make.
No. They also make bugs.
Yeah,
They're
well, yes.
very good at making bugs.
Yes.
The least Nintendo can do then is open things up to mods like Bethesda does.
That's a fair point. Yeah, it is unfortunate, right? Like, I think, yes, a lot of the issues come from specific instances, the stuff you'll see on Twitter and online, Reddit, whatever. That's going to be, like Rowan said, cherry picked. It's going to be the vocal minority of problems, right? I've played.
But you're going to see a lot of stuff. You're going to see a lot of stuff on your playthrough too, though.
So
it's not entirely overblown, is the thing. Like, this stuff is real, and it's not.
But what
they should have taken an extra 6 months.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, just constant throughout the entire game, there is a bit of latency. You will press a button and then it will happen. Like,
latency
not a full
and
second
frame rate
later,
drop.
but like a noticeable amount of time later. And then like the transition between scenes, like a battle is over, a cutscene is shifting from one scene to the next. It just like locks up and then moves. Or like when you throw a ball at a Pokemon to like start a battle, it'll just be like seizing there for a moment until
or if the Pokemon's flying, it just sits in the air, like, you know, wherever the Pokemon like level it's at.
Yeah.
If it's like on the ground, it'll be on the ground. If it's kind of floating, it'll be floating. Or if it's flying, it's like way up in the air.
I was willing to accept that as an artistic decision, but it looks awkward and bad. Yeah.
It does.
But the problems that I've had most of the time have been frame rate drops. The input lag is there, and the like kind of like the most annoying thing I think I've seen is the to your point, that might not be the most annoying, but one of the annoying things I've seen is like every time there's a fade transition, that fade is the most or the least smooth.
Janky.
Yeah, it's wild. It like freezes halfway through, unfades real quick, fades back in. It doesn't make any sense. That's unfortunate. But really,
so what I've heard people say it's a memory leak around the big city.
Yeah. And that, like, so if you enter it and leave it again, it should clean up a lot of it, right?
Once you leave the big city and then restart your game properly, like through the Switch menu, it apparently does get better.
Yeah.
And weirdly, I've also seen it be a lot better in handheld, and that's just because the handheld Switch doesn't attempt to do a bigger resolution. You're locked at 720p.
Yep.
So I mean,
it does run smoother.
From 720 to 1080 is more than the dock adds to the Switch's power. And I'm playing on an OLED, like as fast as they get, which is not like, there was a Switch upgrade at some point. It's not specifically the OLED. It's just the launch models are slow, have a older chipset than the ones that started coming out a few years after.
But it's not speed. It is.
This is poor optimization. This is bad memory usage.
Well, I was saying that the Switch, the upgrade, right, the V1, V2 is efficiency more than anything. You get better battery life with a slightly better chip, but like the clock speed is the same. Right, there's no actual performance
really?
difference.
It's not even a better processor in that regard.
I mean, not so far as performance is there, just efficiency. It's better with power.
Gotcha.
Now you
Yeah,
can
well,
you can hope, pray, and convince yourself otherwise, but like I have.
Yeah.
But
and the current rumor for the Switch Pro, which there was always a rumor for the Switch Pro,
Always.
so grain of salt. But the ostensible rumor is that there will be one out in March of this coming year. So
is it
maybe
March?
cross your
Is that
yeah,
the
maybe
rumor?
cross your fingers. Maybe cross your fingers that you'll be able to get something that can actually run this a little better in a few months. But
Yeah. Well, I'm also
for
the
time
Switch
being,
is old. The Switch is very, very old.
it was bad when it came out.
Yeah.
And it's old. Like it's
Yeah.
using a Tegra processor. This is what we shoved in like bad Android tablets at the time.
that is true.
And
Actually,
they're using it to run their flagship device. Like,
Yeah.
So
I'm sure
the-
it was cheap. I'm sure Nintendo got an amazing batch deal on that, but it's
The
not.
flip
It wasn't good at the
side
time.
of that is the Switch is old, so hopefully you'd think that the people who are as close to Nintendo as you can get without being actually part of Nintendo have the ability to do these optimizations properly and to make a game with the exact specs they know about, right?
Well, they're not really in Nintendo though, right? Like,
Well, yeah, that's why I said like as close as you could be without being Nintendo. It's that whole relationship is really weird with the
It-
five
it's very
companies
opaque.
that make up Pokemon.
I think it's
Yeah.
it's Game Freak, Nintendo,
Game Freak,
and Creatures.
Creatures
right?
Nintendo,
Creatures.
Pokemon
All
Company,
own-
and Pokemon Company International. But those
So
two are like under the three of
first-
them.
The first three, Game Freak, Nintendo, and Creatures, all own a 33% share of the Pokemon Company.
Yes.
And then that itself owns the International, I believe. So
Yeah, I
like,
think that's right.
it's a
So
whole
weird.
mess, but it's really those three entities that have the power. But Nintendo weirdly doesn't have any more power than Game Freak or Creatures, which is bizarre because I think all Creatures does these days is make the models.
Yep.
So-
Yeah, they just do the
Yeah.
models,
Yeah, it's a
which they did a
wild-
great job. They did a great job in this game. I'll say that with
Yeah,
the
the
models.
models definitely look a lot better.
Look
The textures
great.
especially.
Yes, every single model in this game, except maybe that tree over there, looks great. Every Pokemon, every character, I think looks great. And we can talk about characters here too, because
Yeah, we can probably like stop beating the dead horse of the perf at some point. Like it's bad, but it's fine.
But I think it's kind of like this is we had to go through this. I think for an open world game, I feel like we had to go through this set because it's their first attempt at it for one. So like, how long would you expect them to be testing it and not releasing a game to make money on?
So my opinion on that,
Realistically,
yes, my opinion on that is they did Swish, which had the open areas for the wild areas. Then they did PLA, which did a pretty good job of this stuff. And then you go into this single large world. So they've had baby steps to get there. Is it perfect? No. Is this acceptable? I would probably say no. I'm hoping they patch it out, right? Like, I hope they can fix it.
If it is just a memory leak, it is feasible that it could be patched.
Which
If
that's
it's
kinda what you
something
hope.
Deeper, if it's a deeper problem than just a memory leak, then probably not.
Yeah.
so I think
that's fair.
some of the things are more design issues. Like when you're battling a wild Pokemon and you just have things
Everything in
clipped
the
through.
world is still
Yeah, because it's
being
still
rendered.
everything's still being rendered, so it's not going away. So you're going to have these kind of issues. Like you can't have contact collision in the middle. Like I can't imagine what that takes to make that happen. Like
Yeah, I don't
they
think
can't do that.
I don't think that this game will be a photorealistic Pokemon game with a couple patches, right? I think they can because the 101 update was a performance patch. I think that's how they touted it, right?
Yep.
So they know that they need performance patches. They can do another one. They can make a 102 or a 110, right? Like they have options.
Now it's whether they do it. That's
Yeah.
what we're waiting on to see.
I mean, but outside of the whole patch thing, just as far as like future games, I think so. You really hit the nail on the head. There is just like they've been progressing to this. Like
Yes.
Sword and Shield was absolutely just dipping their toes in.
Yep.
Then and before that, it was just 3D graphics in general, right?
Yep.
Then you have dipping your toes into a fully explorable area. Then you had PLA, which is open world, but
Open
lots
zone.
of it's in
Yeah.
lots of different zones.
Open instance.
Open, but explorable within those, right?
Yep.
And then this game is by far the like orders of magnitude more ambitious
Yes.
than PLA. In that
Yeah,
regard.
it
Not-
is.
Not just in the scope, but also in the density of everything being
Yep.
here. Like so much stuff. There were areas of PLA where it's like, okay, this is a meadow, like more of the meadow, great, whatever.
Yeah.
Like it was just more to explore and like
The
maybe make a
biomes are
random rare
very
spawn.
unique.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
Like-
I was impressed
So-
at how different the biomes would be, even if
Yeah.
like on the same like route, right, area, whatever. Like there are differences like as you go down a path, and I'm like, whoa, that's kind of cool.
So I guess what I'm getting at is that like if and it also all looked pretty like very pretty in my opinion. Like there might have been a few ugly textures in there. Like if once it zooms into the ground when you're catching Pokeball, like when a Pokeball hits the ground, like maybe that's a little blurry. But in general, it looked good enough for me. I thought it looked great, especially for a Switch game.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
So in the future, all you need to do is just keep like make this literally this, but have it run better. Like just focus on the performance. And I think they finally hit their stride. Like Pokemon has been behind the curve aggressively in terms of like what game design should be for a while, and they finally done
for a long time.
To do.
Yep.
And now they just need to make it a little smoother. Like just get better at what you've already done. Like this was like probably over ambitious, but they did it. And now you've
but now they have a basis for it too. Like so that they have a baseline now, and
you can't go backwards from this.
No,
exactly.
I mean, if you do, it has to be something absurdly awesome, right? Like they have to have really good reason to go backwards from this. But yeah,
I think it's a good base. I think it's a baseline, and it's no one's gonna say this game's perfect, but we'll all agree it's the most fun we've had with a Pokemon game.
Most fun I've had with a Pokemon game. Best I'll go on the record saying this is the best Pokemon game. Especially the game under the bugs is the best Pokemon game.
Yeah, I got bored with Gen 8. I was ready to put it down before I finished the story, and then when I realized that I had to play through Shield as well to get the exclusives, I was like,
yeah,
I'm gonna take a month. I'm gonna sit with this for a month.
Yeah, the story's been enjoyable for a Pokemon game too.
So let's put down the perf issues for a second and talk about just high level story. No story spoilers, but just what did you all? You all aren't done with it, but you're pretty far in. What did you think of?
So I think it's been great.
Development,
yeah. So I'm the furthest.
We will not spoil anything for you.
Yeah, I'm the furthest behind. Right. So or the least done.
Where are you? Where are you? Like number of badges, number of star bases, whatever.
Yeah, I have to check. I think I'm 6 badges. It's very loud. Sorry. That was for the joke in the beginning of the podcast. I think I am 6 badges, and then 3 Titans and 3 star bases. Is there an easy way to check that?
It on your little menu thing, like the map. Yeah.
3, 4, 5.
Like each of them give badges, even if they're not gyms. So
it should have a.
Oh, you have the oh my gosh, the profile, right? Map X profile. Aha. Where do you see badges?
Should be there. It should be around somewhere.
I'm gonna go with whatever I said in the beginning of this conversation. That's what I have.
Okay, so
I'm close, but like so far, so they said in trailers there are 3 different storylines. So I presume there's slight spoiler. There's a post game. That's all I'll say. Yeah. So the 3 storylines and whatever the post game is. So far I'm loving the storylines. Like, I think for a Pokemon game and the way they've set this up as an open world Pokemon game, again, it's Pokemon. Like, it boils down to we've played the same game for 25 years. Just it looks prettier each time. But this story, the way they've done it with the badges, with the Titans, with the Team Star, with the school, with everything going on, with all the characters involved and how they interact, I'm loving it. Like, I think this is the best story we've had in Pokemon. Maybe bar none. Probably bar none.
Every character that isn't like a random one-off has like some actual development. Like, I actually like them. I remember their names. It's great. I mean, the Titan storyline in particular, I really like.
Get your tissues out for that one too.
I didn't sign up for the Feels trip.
I was caught off guard because when Arvin
100%.
When Arvin first introduced himself,
my permission slip.
I did not like him. I did not think I was gonna like him.
Yeah.
And then anyway, his story, super worth doing. I'm shocked.
Like the Team Star thing felt a little elementary, but like it's about children, and we are not children. We are. The whole concept. It's a decent concept. I guess it's the whole story. I liked Team Star a lot, and then like the gyms were honestly the most boring part of it. It was fun,
but it was just a gym challenge, and I don't think they didn't church it up any more than that. They're like
they did something for the gyms. They did something for the gyms that I think is amazing, and they've been lacking for 8 generations. every gym leader has a job. That's not a gym leader.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought
Yeah.
that is the best little bit of flavor to give these characters.
It's like a public position. It's like being the mayor of the town, being the gym leader is.
so good.
I love Larry. Larry is a
Larry
Larry's
is
great.
great. But the fact that like you have a baker, you have an artist, you have a streamer, you have
Snowboarder.
a
I just
snowboarder,
want
a
to say
rapper.
I would not trust
A
a baker
singer.
who specializes in bugs.
You have a rapper.
I
The Ghost Gym was a rapper.
I loved the rapper. That's all I'll say. It was so good.
She was great. She was
Anyway,
great. See, but that's like we needed voice acting for that too, though. Like having
Voice
to read
acting for the rapper.
having to sit there and read the text is horrible. It's like this is the one time that you could have just like the entire story could have not been voice acted, but at least voice act the singing.
So I'm upset that I did not stream that gym or record it, because I would have sat here and rapped all of that, or not rapped, like
that
said
is
it,
a
said it
complaint
in
I have.
whatever. Yeah.
Because okay, they paid for Ed Sheeran to do the credit song. They've paid for Katy Perry and someone else. Who was the one who did the first song? Like it's some big name.
Was it Gaga?
Like no. Maybe Gaga did something. No, it wasn't Gaga. It was
Katy Perry did one,
Oh, no, sorry.
and
Whatever.
Post Malone did one.
Post Malone, that's right.
So they paid
Sorry.
for Post Malone, Katy Perry, and Ed Sheeran to do random songs that no one's actually cared about. Let's be real with ourselves. Like I'm not trying to be contrarian. They're fine. It's decent music,
Yes,
whatever. But
there you
like
go.
no one's putting that on their Spotify playlists and like listening to this daily, right? They just existed.
Someone's
voice
gonna
actors
say
in
it, but that's why they didn't finish the game. They paid all these big
Voice
actors.
actors in video
actors
games
really
are notoriously underpaid. You could have taken the money from those songs, put them into voice acting, and shoved that in. Even if it didn't match the lip flap, it would have been fine.
So
And
would
then
bad
just
voice
play-
acting be worse than no voice acting?
That's
No,
a good
it would
question.
be fine. I want that. Play an 8-bit rip of the audio from Red and Blue in the credits instead of Ed Sheeran, and then have voice acting. That's what I want. Yeah.
That
could
That's
be.
it.
I mean, I don't know what side of the fence I land on that for. Is bad voice acting better than no voice acting?
It could distract
Almost all
enough.
video game voice acting is not good. I'm sorry. Like
There's-
some of it's fine, most of it's
But there's
bad.
some that is like
Yeah.
exceptionally bad.
After the after the
Like a Mario
Sword and
that's without an
Shield,
Italian
like,
accent.
after the Spike Myth gym where the gym leader is just singing on the microphone for a solid
Pierce.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Pierce,
Yes.
yeah. 30 seconds. Like you can time it. It's a long time. And
Forgot about
just
that.
no
It's bad.
sound coming out. Like no,
It's just
I'll
it's just
take
him just
someone-
like hit
Yeah.
the hit, and like you got everybody in the crowd just rocking out like
I will take someone singing badly over that. Like
and it's not even like they're like playing like different music. It's just the same music that's been playing as you watch the cutscenes. Like
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
okay, maybe that's the case. Maybe that should be what goes into Gen 10.
that's the next big step. If we
it
get
doesn't need
voice
to be
acting,
every NPC. It
because-
doesn't need to be every youngster.
no,
but
it-
but
no,
the
not
story
the random.
characters.
The main characters need to be voice acted. Yeah, I don't need all the random trainers, but like the gym leaders, the main characters, like Nimona, she would have been great having a voice actor behind Nimona. Like
I love Nimona.
yeah, you have to love Nimona.
So-
She's
She's
great.
Pokemon Lady Goku. Like I've seen a bunch of like
Exactly.
fantastic
That's
fan
exactly
art
who
of
she is.
someone,
She is
like,
Goku.
Yeah, like someone shoved Goku into her school outfit and then gave him her hair.
Oh my gosh, you need to share that with me. But yeah,
find it again,
so unabashedly on your side, like such a
great.
positive.
It was actually a little
rival.
creepy at some point. I was like, she's gonna end up being like the secret villain or something. I won't give it away. Maybe
Right.
she does. Yeah.
It was.
No, but she's also very much like our old champion from the last game. What was his name?
Leon.
Leon.
Leon. Yeah, she reminds me of
all the
Leon.
names to
She reeked
forget.
of Leon. Yeah.
Yeah, I forget Leon. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't know. Yeah, it was impressive how they kept her character so cheery the whole time, and like and to your point, a little creepy, but I thought it was refreshing to have such a character.
But so through the whole main story though,
It keeps going. It keeps getting creepier. Again, no specifics, but like you'll be more impressed as time goes on.
Okay, well, I just fought her for the 6th gym too. Right before
No,
the
no, no.
6th gym.
She doesn't get creepier. Sorry, like the like the circumstances of the story get like progressively more grim, and she's just like still sticking to her gimmick. And like, yeah,
That's
you do you.
amazing. knowing what I do know, because I've been mildly spoiled, and I spoiled myself. That's cool. I'm excited to see that. Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, okay. Thoughts on the music in the game?
Great.
Good, fantastic. I think on par with Sword and Shield. And I gotta say, I need another slow playthrough because a lot of this I played handheld. Sometimes while my code compiled way too slowly. So like it yeah, I need to play it again with like full focus on the music.
Yeah, same. Because a lot of my playing, I'll have it silenced, completely silenced. Like be watching a show or something while I'm playing. So I miss a lot of it, but some of it is great. I will say though, I don't like some of the themes as much. Like I didn't like the Elite Four theme. That was horrible.
Oh, really?
Okay.
From what I remember, maybe I didn't hear it good enough while I was playing this morning.
Okay, so the final act, again, won't tell you what it is, but the final act was incredible atmosphere-wise,
Really?
including music. Yeah, I
I played.
really enjoyed that.
I played again most of the weekend the game's release. I was playing streaming, so I had my headphones on, so I had the music right here, right. And not that I was playing on the handheld a little bit too, and it was pretty good. But like I was like, man, this is so good to listen to. I might have to actually plug in headphones for the final battle or whatever it is.
Really looking forward to the inevitable remixes. What
Absolutely.
Who's the really fantastic remix artist? Who does these? I'm pulling them on Spotify because I want to like, God knows.
Game Chops.
Game
Chops and RobKTA for the use for our theme song, Goldenrod Game Corner off the Ultraball album. There we go. I said it super early this time.
Glitch X City is who I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah.
They are incredible. Like a shout out to them for like
existing,
letting everybody use their stuff. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with it.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm like all the people who make music are talented, unlike me. So I think everything that comes out of people who do that is so cool. Like
art is hard.
Art is hard.
Yeah.
Music is hard. I did music growing up. Music is hard. I did
Very hard.
I was listening to a lot of Pokemon Reorchestrated was really good. They did like Hoenn themes with like a full orchestra. I was like, oh, that's super good. So I'm excited to see what comes out of this OST. Good job, Toby Fox, and others.
I do like. I love the Spanish guitar though, like playing while you're just running around. Like that's like just one of my favorite things. It's great.
All of the Spanish influence that's in this game is fantastic.
It's really good.
Like everything from names to sayings people have. Like I was just walking around the ghost town, the ghost gym town, and someone just says "¿Qué pasa?" on there, like over there. I'm like, that's so good. Like it's right there. It's so good.
Yeah, well, the characters just, I think Nimona like, exclaims random things in Spanish.
Yes.
I think it's like the perfect level of like making it very clear that this is the influence without getting like awkward and cheesy about it. Like Alola was too much. Like just everyone just
like,
yelling Alola
God.
at you, and like I feel like this is like a parody of like Native Hawaiian culture. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have Galar, which like barely referenced the fact that it was meant to be English inspired. I felt like to the point that they didn't even include half the mons that were like very obviously like English bulldogs, and like why was Snubble not in that game? That kind of thing.
Fair point.
This one like it felt really good that way. It's like you knew it was Spanish influence. Like you see like stuff like Quaquaval and all that. Like it was really good. Actually, I've seen things that suggest that that's Brazilian inspired. But anyway, like all like it just felt like they really struck that balance perfectly in this game.
Yeah, I think it's great. And on the note of verbiage, people talking, like all the slang in the game too. Like the localization team had so much fun with this, right? Like
I can only imagine how different it was in Japanese, right? Like
that would be fun to have someone who is bilingual go and see that. But like even like Nimona saying, "Oh, I'll take that's an L for me," or one of
She says "oof" at one point.
oof. Someone I think it was the rapper Gym Leader was like, "We're gonna have a vibe of a time" or something. Like
Yeah.
all these like
It's some very
it took me aback sometimes. Like, oh, this is like slang in a Pokemon game, like things that I would
like like current slang too. You know,
Yes.
it's like, but it has that awkward feel of like someone who doesn't really know how to use them.
I think it's great.
And
oh, I love it so
but
much.
it just has such an awkward for a Pokemon game that they're just like, you just see just this random, idiom or something. You're like, whoa, what is?
Good term, because that sounds like an educated person came up with the word idiom. We all have degrees. But yeah, I think that I love it. And like Nimona is the one I think who speaks like that the most, but she's also again super cheery, like super energetic, like would be like has the character that would be say slang. But then also the rapping Gym Leader says stuff too, and like different random people have I think the Spanish influence phrases are great too. I don't know. I think it's so good.
It is. It's a good game.
Yeah, overall, good game. I will not be told otherwise.
Okay, so there might be more stuff to discuss. However, I want to know before we close this, what is your end game team? What 6 do you think you're for you, Harrison? It might end up changing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But Sheldon, maybe not for you if you're already done with the Elite Four. It's probably going to end up being close to this, if not exactly.
Probably.
This. What are your 6?
My 6. So I have Meowscarada.
Okay, same, yeah. No.
That was my starter. Tinkaton.
Okay.
I have Great Tusk.
When do you get a Great Tusk prior to the?
Oh, you can get one. Yeah, you can get one before the post game.
Ah.
I imagine
Yeah.
the desert.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting.
If you go back, it should just be one urn around out there.
Cool. I mean, I sorry. Go ahead.
I'm trying to remember what else I have. I have
No one had more thoughts. He's like, whoa,
I
wait a
have
second.
Excalibur. I have one of those.
I actually haven't run into the pseudo yet.
Wait,
Iceland, presumably, right?
Yeah.
Which back?
Yeah, it's in a
What's a
cave, I
Backscalibur?
think. It's the pseudo of the region. What else do I have? I
Actually
can't
don't know
even
the pseudos
hardly
right now.
remember.
Oh, is that a thing? That thing looks so cool.
It's
Yeah,
very strong.
it's got a super strong
Oh, yeah, the
signature move too.
Dragon Ice type. Okay, that's the one that has the thermal. Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep,
I want
thermal
one of
exchange.
There
Oh,
are
what
two-
else? What else do I have? I can't remember what else I have on my team.
I'm gonna interject.
Oh, no.
I'm so mad and happy that you can catch so many dragon Pokemon in South Area Province 2 or 1 or something like super early on.
Before the final gym and all, you could have a full pseudo team if you wanted.
That's absurd.
Yeah, you find like the Garchomp and
Larvitar,
and
like,
Yep.
like it's just sitting around, like
Dreepies in my version, yeah.
and Zweilous or whatever the
Yeah.
Arctibax is the cutest thing I've seen all day.
it's
Oh
very
my
derpy.
gosh.
I have the ghost dog, whatever it's.
Houndstone?
The one that got banned on
Houndstone.
Smogon, yeah.
Yeah.
Also
That move has literally saved my like play a couple of times. I think the Team Star finals or something, like I knew I could take one hit and the rest of the team was dead, so you just smack it with that last resort. You're
my
blowing
gosh.
anything up.
In 6v6, that move has a base 300
if,
power.
Yeah,
like
if you
if
say to the
everything
end.
else on your team is dead.
Yep.
And it gets Sand Rush, which is why Smogon banned it, right? So if you like space things out properly, you let your whole team die except for your Sand Setter, and then you send that out and you have it die, and then you send it out, then send out your Ghost Dog, and it just sweeps through the whole team with a base 300 power.
I didn't realize
times
it got
2 speed move. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah, it's beef.
it makes some sense.
Oh, and I have Armor Rouge.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Do you want to share, Harrison, or are you gonna like change it?
Well, it'll probably change. So right now I'm running Skeledirge, Breloom, Lycanroc, I have a Bagon because Professor Knight sent me a Bagon. It's a a Violet exclusive. I'm playing Scarlet. So he traded me that very early on.
Salamence is gonna be a monster, I think, in VGC this.
Salamence, and also I want to see what Roaring Moon does.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
Roaring Moon
excited
is
for that.
that thing's gonna be good. That thing is
Yeah.
strong.
Very excited. Okay, we've touched on VGC this episode. Good job, us.
we did it.
We couldn't not do it.
That's why I thought we should close out with. You got to throw out your,
That's true.
or we'll close out with it.
I have a Finizen right now. Eventually, Palafin. I really want to try that out in game, and then eventually in
Let me know if you
in
need a
Steam.
spectator for that.
I will eventually.
Go dolphin watching.
I'm just under the level for it too. What else do I have on this team? Oh, and a Haunter right now. So that's my current team. I want a Dratini. I want to get
You'll
a
find
Hearthstone.
them.
You're not at it yet. You'll be around the
Yeah, you'll find. They'll be all over the place. You'll see them
Okay.
swimming around in a lake somewhere.
Yeah.
I want what else do I want? And I want an Arctibax and a Baxcalibur.
Yeah, you'll find those. You'll go through a cave or something. They'll be chilling in there.
Or
I
this-
think the reason I never found a Baxcalibur is that was around the time that I got the flying, so I was just
Oh,
having
you
so
just
much fun,
you
like,
just dodged everything.
zooming over everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's my current team, 6 gyms in, so I'm certain that's gonna change. Yeah, maybe when we record for next episode, I'll be like, so my team is completely different except for the Skeletor. He is coming with me. But yeah, so that's that. My team at least. What else? What else is good talking points?
Well, I didn't get to do my team, so you know.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, let's hear your team.
I knew that.
So I did Meowscarada. I did you literally told me the name earlier and I've forgotten it already again. Something Sire.
Claude Sire.
Claude Sire.
Like, the word Claude just I wanted to.
It's a
nickname
weird
him
word.
Claude. That's like CLAUDE. Yeah.
Very good.
Okay.
Claudio.
So yeah, Meowscarada, Claude Sire. So derpy. I love it. Cerulege has been fantastic because it can like sword stance. It takes
Well, it's
a hit.
fast. It's way better for a playthrough. That thing is fast.
Yeah, so it's
Armor
you
Rouge
sword
is not.
stance, and then you flame charge so that you get a speed boost, and then you use its signature move to like heal up with your +2.
Oh yeah, it gets
and then
up.
you just sweep.
Wow. So can you trade me one of those?
Sure, yeah.
I don't have the. I'm not even far enough to get the item for Armor Rouge yet. I think.
You got.
No, you can get it. You can get it pretty early.
A bunch of Sinistee.
But we had to kill. You had to kill Bronzor, Bronzong in Scarlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you trade its materials in to get the armor.
Where?
There's an
It's
NPC in one of the cities.
yeah.
That
it's
was the
it's on
most
the
descriptive
it's on the
thing you
east
could have
side.
said.
It's on the east side, about towards the middle of the map.
It has fountains.
It has a fountain. The dude's standing at a fountain. So go to all the fountains on the east side of the map.
All right, we've narrowed it down from a lot to some.
I have an Espathra, like the Cleopatra themed ostrich, which I kind of love. Actually.
Oh, that thing. Is it
It has
good?
it has a psychic move that reduces special defense by 2 stages.
Oh, that only gets better.
And it's already and it's base 80, so it's wild, and it gets so mine has opportunist, which is pretty good at like anytime your opponent gets a stat boost, you get it too.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to get it is speed boost.
Yeah, it gets
It's
speed
its hidden
boost.
ability, and it gets speed boost, and it gets stored power.
Oh,
Yeah,
That'll
so you
hit hard.
Protect a turn, you get a speed boost. Now you're faster, and now you use stored power, which is stab. Maybe you Terra it for super stab,
Oh my
and
gosh.
it's boosted power because of your speed boost. And every turn, your stored power gets even stronger.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that kind of nonsense is fantastic. But anyway, so that the Dragonite, of course, and oh man, what was my 6th? Oh, Bug Trio, obviously. Yeah.
Oh.
Actually,
Obviously.
honestly, the worst one on my team. I've been like meaning to swap.
oh,
it
that
out
thing's
forever,
so
but it's-
bad. That
But
thing's
it's so
so
derpy. It gets okay, so it's very fast, and it gets the it gets triple dive, I think is the name of the move. So it's like 3 base 30 physical water attacks. So it's stronger than liquidation, I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so
And in 3 cards.
it's surging strikes, right?
It's Surging Strike. It's worse Surging Strikes. Yes, exactly.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but it's adorable and it's very fast, and I kept it. So yeah, I would that will not be in my VGC team.
Yeah, to the point of water types disappointing. Finizen has not been good to me either.
It's garbage. It's trash not just until it evolves, but until it does its form. I farmed Finizen until I found an adamant one, and then I was like, wait, I don't want to have to flip turn every battle just to make this like be okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's gonna stay on my team very long.
You'll find some Dondozo and some Tatsugiri eventually, like in the same lake as Tini.
I
would recommend.
I do like
Tatsugiri
on the land before you get to that too.
Oh really? Okay, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Tatsugiri is actually pretty solid, like base 120 special attack. Like the rest of its stats aren't amazing, but
I still think so that whole little combo with it, I think it's actually better on its own because it's Storm Drain and Water Dragon is a better typing. Like
I want
granted.
And it's
doesn't
fast.
do much for a water dragon, but water dragon's great typing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, just Storm Drain's just a good ability. Like it doesn't. I don't really. If it's on a special attacker, like I don't care if it's saving it from a big hit. Just True. Eat the water attacks and get bigger. Like
exactly.
Fair point.
Okay. We're over an hour now. It's so easy to talk about this game.
Just barely over an hour after editing.
Just barely over an hour. Okay.
Actually, no. We're a minute over an hour. Yeah. I don't know. What else? Is there anything else y'all want to gush about for these games?
The only thing I'd want to. I was gonna say
brain for the most part.
So good.
I will say I really liked how easy it was to fill out the decks in this game. Like I was not trying. I caught anything new that I saw, but I didn't like go out on my way to hunt anything. And when I saw credits, I was at over 220 caught in the decks. Like,
nice.
Wow.
Out of I think 400 is the max, and like I just flew over whole areas by mistake, right? Like I didn't know about multiple mons that you guys caught. It's wild.
Oh, the loot box.
Yeah, I enjoy the battle pass for the Pokedex. I think that's super funny.
Yeah. You get rewards for it. It's amazing.
Well, that's a good incentive too because I don't know about you, but I like battle pass stuff. I like the progression. It's just like it. Gets those.
It appeals
feel
to
good.
Brain, like,
yes. It does feel good juices kind of flow a little bit when you see that bar and you hit that goal. You're like, yes.
Yeah.
There's no real incentive to complete the Pokedex otherwise. Like you get the shiny charm.
Well, shiny charm, yeah.
I mean, like how many people are actually farming eggs for shinies? I know a lot of people like it.
A lot of people
in terms
are.
of like.
Yeah, I feel like that.
The vast, like the whole Pokemon audience, I feel like shiny hunters are overrepresented in YouTubers and not in like people who actually play the game.
That might be true. Tell us in the comments if you're a shiny hunter, and then we just completely dissed you and your existence.
There's probably more of them than there are VGC players, though. To be honest,
that might be true. Yeah, that's actually probably a good point. We might be the
we
minority.
are definitely the minority because we're the only ones that plays this game right.
Well, them's fighting words. All right, y'all fight Sheldon in the comments below. That'll
Please
be
do.
Spicy.
That'll be fun.
Oh man, I had something else I was gonna say that I totally forgot about. Too bad. So
do we have any? What is your early picks for VGC first season here?
I think it's a good way to close it out.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it, like. Do you have anything that's
things you want to experiment with, things you want to see, things you want to build around?
Okay, up to 3 for each of us.
Up to 3.
Sheldon, you brought this up. You start.
All right. Let's see. So Armarouge is my go-to one. That is my baby right now. Like
Armarouge and DD is a beastly combo.
It's our new hat. It's our new NDD hat because it is the only Pokemon that gets Expanding Force. Only one.
Is it
in
the
whole
only
dex.
one? Like only?
Yep.
Like by level up or in general?
In general. It's a level up. It's a level up mood for, and it is the only one in the game.
Wild.
I'm fact checking you,
and
not because I don't believe you, but because I want to see. I want to see that. I can't.
And it has a lot going for it.
Oh my gosh, I can't spell Expanding Force.
So by the way, you're right. So Pikalytics is working for Doubles OU. There is no VGC on Showdown yet, but you can play Doubles OU. And if you go to Pikalytics and hit Scarlet and Violet doubles, if you type in Expanding, Armarouge is the only Pokemon that comes up.
Yeah,
and it gets Trick Room too. Yeah,
it gets Trick Room. So it gets Trick Room.
New hat.
You got options for your other move. It has its signature move, Armor Cannon, which is a special fire close combat. 120 base power, 100 accuracy, and it lowers your defenses by 1.
Love it.
And Heat Wave, all that other good stuff.
Terra
Like
Psychic Expanding Force. God.
Yep.
I was
that
really
life,
happy
life,
that
that's what I've been using is Terra Psychic Life Orb Expanding Force.
It literally has hat stats, 125 special attack.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
That does sound
I
fun.
Get it. I understand that. Okay.
Sold.
And all right. Do you have any others?
I'll let y'all go next.
Okay.
Round robin it.
So
Yeah.
obvious. Dragonite is looking really good. So the obvious one. And I think there will be others. Tailwind is a TM. No, there's no more TRs.
Yes, correct.
Tailwind is a TM now. By the way, single use TM's awful. Hate that. Anyway. So
I have something to say
Dragonite-
about that actually.
Yeah,
Later.
Dragonite can support now with Tailwind, which is amazing. Like a lot of mons can.
Yep.
It lost dual wing beat, which is unfortunate, but it
Very.
now gets access to Terra normal extreme speed off of its base 134 attack, and its immunity to intimidate and fake out. So that is a ton of power. I think I saw Helping Hand, Life Orb, Terra extreme speed has a guaranteed 2-hit KO on Tyranitar,
Oh dang.
Wow.
who resists it and has incredible base defenses.
Yeah.
Like, it's very strong. You can just straight nuke things that are more frail with +2 priority.
Right.
So that's my current, like, I obviously there are probably stronger things in the game than that, but like the fact that it's my favorite, like I've had to work to make
It got a
Dragonite
buff.
work in previous formats, and it got nerfed in like an objective sense, but Terra has buffed it. Yeah. So I'm pretty happy about that one.
Interesting. Okay.
We don't have to do 3, by the way.
I was gonna say, yeah, because you guys, I think we might share a single brain cell in all of this, because those are also things that I wanted to try. But I'll take the easy out, and I want to try the Danzo Tatsugiri.
Yeah. So shout out to Pokesports.
Yeah,
They've
I
done a
watched
bunch of
Kevin's
videos
video on
this.
that, and I was like,
Yeah.
this just looks so fun and so dirty.
If you play doubles OU, that's all you will see.
Yeah, I'm certain. Yeah, actually, that's not shocking at all. I know
That's all
there's-
I've seen on the ladder.
I know there's a couple different strategies you can have with that. You can just flat out do it right normally, and then I think there's some gimmicks where if you like poison Tatsugiri, you can get him to faint while inside
so that's
Dondozo.
that's the all right. So the biggest, like, I guess, scary kind of strategy of it is you have a toxic orb on Tatsugiri, and you lead it with a mon that has explosion or something that knocks it out. So you endure on turn 1 with Tatsugiri.
Oh my gosh!
You explode, so you get a free switch in. You get to switch in. It jumps in the mouth. Hopefully you went down to your endure in 1 HP. You jump in its mouth. It KOs itself,
But you still get the
Toxic
bonuses.
and you keep the boost if it dies while it's inside the mouth. And then you send out that flamingo.
A good mon. What's the flamingo do?
So its ability co-star, it on switching, it copies its allies'
it's
stat
that
changes.
That's insane.
So
Yeah,
you give it
for
+2
reference,
to
real quick,
everything.
for anyone who may not know, the whale, the whale
Donzo.
Dondozo and the sushi Tatsugiri, Tatsugiri jumps inside the mouth of Dondozo upon switch in and
Yes.
gives it an omni boost of +2, so every stat gets doubled.
With-
But the trade-off is that it doesn't get a partner normally.
Yeah.
So this toxic orb strat is to make it so that you both get the +2 omni boost and a partner.
And that is
Yep.
with the ability Commander on Tatsugiri. And then I
Yes.
think the Dondozo, whatever, gets, like, every ability is good. It has, like, I think Own Tempo, Oblivious, and
yeah.
something else.
Water
Yeah,
veil
so
is its
A
hit.
Water Veil, yeah.
Yeah, so it can't be intimidated. You can give it an assault vest to make up for its mediocre special defense, and then like it gets pretty good moves, including like that signature.
It has a lot of
dragon
it has a
attack,
lot of
like,
coverage.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
Like
then,
I've seen a lot of like earthquake, on it. I've seen people run mix hits. I've gotten hit with an earthquake and then immediately get hit with a surf. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
And that's a really cute thing, right? If you're not doing this little gimmick to like kill your commander, you can use earthquake and surf and whatever with no fear.
Yep.
Because
you don't have a partner. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, like spam those.
But that's the only downside though, is you don't have a partner, and so you're getting double targeted the entire time.
Yep.
But consider that you have base 150 HP and +2 in both your defenses.
It is super bulky.
You can take those hits. Yeah.
Yeah. Looking at what Kevin's video, I was looking at like how little 8 damage it was taking between turns, like even getting doubled into. So it's not proper VGC. It's not a high level VGC. So we can wait to see how that actually plays out in
also
reality.
Consider Tatsu doesn't actually die when Dondozo dies. It just spits Tatsugiri out and it gets to keep playing.
So you still have 3 mon after that combo or whatever. So it's not bad, but you also
I think it's kind of. I'd almost say it's kind of gimmicky, almost to a point where it's not
extremely gimmicky.
But it's something that you need to be aware of, because you can get swept if it's something you're not aware of and it happens. You're like, oh, well, I lose now. Like, I can't touch this thing.
Yep. You're gonna have a rough time.
But yeah. Okay, I mean, we could probably go over a million of these, like Flutter Mane, Iron Hands, Chen Power, Brute Bonnet, Mousehold is actually hilarious.
Oh, Goldingo is surprisingly strong as well.
Goldengo is horrifying. Palafin, Meowscarada, like there's a lot of really strong mons here.
Which we will go over in due time here.
I think we need a whole episode for our first VGC thoughts on this format.
Yeah. I just want to kind of get some initial ones though, from just the initial, like, what have we seen?
Sunroom. I'm excited to play Sunroom. I don't think I did any Trick Room teams in Gen 8 because I do not like Trick Room. But seeing just how much Sunroom's going to be good. It's going to be a very popular archetype. I will play it. I'm excited for it. That's my other
I
one.
really like right now I like either Iron Hands or Hariyama, Brute Bonnet, a Trick Room setter. Personally, like Bronzong, but I've seen like Mimikyu. I've seen all kinds of Trick Room setters there.
Isn't Mimikyu the best Trick Room setter right now?
It's probably the most consistent. Best is a strong word, because once it sets it, it's not doing as much. It burns and it does an inaccurate play roughs off of a mediocre attack stat, right? So like it's good, but it's not. It's the best at getting Trick Room up. Period.
Yeah, it's one of the most guaranteed ways.
Yeah,
it's hard to not get it up.
Yeah,
but if you have, if you have Brute Bonnet for Rage Powder and you have Hariyama or Iron Hands for Fake Out, you have a really good way, like multiple good ways of ensuring that you get your Trick Room up. And then if you choose something that's more like has its own utility outside of Trick Room, like Bronzong can do Iron Defense Body Press sets. I'm sure.
Or Armor Rouge can just nuke things.
Yeah. And then Armor Rouge you probably want to put within DD to get the Expanding Force too, right? Which is even more guaranteed to go up.
That's a good point.
But that core of 4 I think is really powerful, and Torkoal enabling the offensive power on Brute Bonnet and maybe a different
whatever they have for Proto,
Mon. Yeah, and then like Iron Hands, I just give the booster energy item to it's very strong. It's so cool. There's so these are just like day one kind of things that we can only test in 6v6 on ladder right now. Like,
and the 6v6 too is something I've been learning more about it as I go. And apparently there's no item clause. There's some weird stuff.
No item
like
clause is upsetting.
Yeah, I didn't know about that until someone sent out two of their like the Paradox Pokemon, and they both had boost. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not right.
Yeah.
But you can spore everything in sight, but you can't set gravity and sleep something, because apparently that's too strong. But just spore is fine.
Yeah, like I don't.
Yeah, sleep clause.
There's no sleep clause. There's no sleep clause. Okay. No, there's no sleep clause.
Okay, yeah, good.
Because I've been spamming that's exactly. I've hit top 500 today, because I just like started playing it today, I think, or yesterday or whatever. I just hit top 500, and that's all I do. I just sit out Among Us and I spore everything in sight.
I don't know that I want to sully myself with trying to learn another format for the same game. I might
I'm not
continue
even
to wait until SV comes, like actual
Yeah.
VGC comes
Oh,
out.
I'm not even trying to learn the
Don't-
format. I'm just playing.
That's fair.
I'm playing it as if it's VGC, and then there's also 2 extra mons, and if
Yeah.
I lose because someone has some DOU strat, then fine.
That might be
Yeah.
fair. That's probably a good way to look at it. If I
Like one of the worst beatdowns I had was from a Claude Sire and a Quag Sire, and I'm like, you would never use this in V. Like, what is this nonsense?
fair enough.
No.
Yeah, I probably will jump on the ladder. I expect I'll beat the game.
Little tip: I believe there's a Chinese server that is doing the expected VGC rules. I can send you all that.
Well, I was
later,
gonna
yeah.
say we don't even know if they're gonna do something funky for VGC yet, right? We have no
Yeah,
idea what
they-
this is gonna be.
They may ban the sub legends. They may ban the past and future mons. We don't know. I haven't seen the word paradox in game. I think past and future are like the
Yeah,
official
past and-
terms, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Iron and I don't know, big descriptive words.
but yeah. I mean, we don't know what the actual rules are, which is part of why official Showdown hasn't put it up yet.
Yep.
But yeah, you can find unofficial servers that'll have it for you. Hopefully, there'll be enough of a ladder. I might have to play at times that are more normal for China to get on the one that I've found.
Maybe.
But yeah, no, there's going to be a lot of options. Like God Grim Snarl with Parting Shot, that kind of thing, right? Like,
Yeah. Hopefully we get
it's
those
going to be wild.
hopefully we get that rule set here in the next week or so. Hopefully before we record again, we can talk about it. But anywho, is that a podcast?
I think
it's a podcast.
It's- We're like rivaling some of our longer ones at this point.
Yeah,
Alright.
but we're all excited about new games.
yeah.
Okay, I should have looked this up beforehand, so I am so sorry, but I want to try and give us a little bit of news. Because over the next couple of weekends, we do have events coming up. Not us, but there are events coming up. I think Victory Road announced their first tournament. Is that
In game or on Showdown?
I thought it was in game. On thing.
That'll be fun.
Right? Am I dumb? Did I make that up?
I still think we need to do a tournament of bring your Final Four, what you beat the Final Four with.
That would be really cool. Oh shoot. I was trying to find it. Maybe it's on Twitter. Oh no, I'm wasting time. Someone talk.
So, how about them Bears?
Wow, good job.
Thanks.
We also have the different raid events coming up. I think the next 2 weekends. So the
That's
weekend,
exciting. You need to get to that post game.
I need to. Yeah, I need to do more raids. We have to do raids. We didn't get a chance to do raids together over the weekend. So we need to change that.
I got a long weekend, so
Where the heck is this? Okay, search Victory Road. I think they did something. I could have made that up. First Pokemon live tournament. Oh, that's that. Oh, never mind. That's in person at some place. Okay, I saw the tweet and I got really excited. I just wasted like 3 minutes of the podcast.
jump the gun there.
Yeah, I did. Sorry. Anyway, so we have the EV event for the raids coming up the next 2 weekends, and the weekend following that, I think, is the Dragonite Charizard Dragon Terra event in the 7-star raids.
And it's a big one too. Like, that's something we didn't mention about either, is how tough some of these raids actually can be.
I'm excited to get to the tough ones. That'll
They
be
get
very
tough.
fun. And then like having like different mons for different types, I think is probably what I want to end up doing because I'm a nerd. But we'll see how that shakes out. Okay, cool. I think that's actually everything. We will come up with something soon. For some cool event that we'll do. Whenever that ends up being. We'll let y'all know on Twitter and Discord.
Give people some time to build before we host anything, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even at the point of being able to build a team, so I'm looking forward to having to do
Finish
that.
the game, and me neither. So
Fair. That's encouraging. Okay, I did have those dates right. It's the next 2 weekends for EVs, the following 2 weekends for Charizard. That ranges from November 24th through December 18th. That's a whole month of Terra Raid events on the weekends, y'all. So we have some stuff to do, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough rambling, at least from me. I've been Harrison. You can find me at Ixen on Twitter and Discord. Not Discord. Well, Discord. YouTube, Twitch. My stuff is I'm uploading stuff on YouTube again, so look there for my playthroughs and Twitch streams. And I've been joined by
Rowan. I'm gonna be a little bit before I can do Scarlet and Violet content. But check out my channel for the last of the Malamar games, and I will put up stuff as soon as I am physically capable of building. Yeah. And
this is Sheldon, Captain Unova. You can find me on Twitter at Captain_Unova and Twitch, Captain Unova.
You did stream. I was so proud of you. I stayed up till midnight on the 18th to actually like check in on your stream.
Oh, I was so tired when I got
3 minutes and then I fell asleep.
I had almost been up for like 24 hours because I wake up at like 4 to go to work, and I think I got done at like 3.
Why are you like this? Yeah, I told you to take a nap. Anyway, I'm proud of you.
The way that you are?
I'm proud of you. You're finally a streamer again. You can wear the badge of content creator with some degree of pride.
I made content.
You did. I guess we make content almost weekly here.
Yeah.
But anyway, together we have been the Game Corner. You can find us on Twitter and Twitter at Game Corner VGC. You can find us in Discord down below. A link to our server where we are talking about VGC. We're talking about raids. We're trying to get stuff going. We're sharing paste and replays on Showdown, all that fun stuff. So join the community. It'll be a fun time, and that's also where you'll get, maybe if I remember to post correctly, the first news of new episodes and other fun happenings at the Game Corner. And then YouTube and Spotify, wherever you're listening to, those links down below as well. Go ahead and let us know the 6 Pokemon that you are currently rocking or that you finished the game with in the comments down below, as well as everything else I said during the episode. Thank you to RobKTA for the use of our theme song, Goldenrod Game Corner, off the Ultraball album. I said it earlier in the episode, but I'll say it again. It's good stuff. And until next time, I'll be playing this game more. Press start and game on.